Professionals in any field of work, what's the most ridiculous thing someone outside of your profession has claimed to know more about than you? Not a super cool job, but I deliver chips to stores. I had the milk delivery guy ask me why I was bringing in more product than the guy before me had. I said because we needed it. He said that couldn't be true because milk sales hadn't risen. WTF do milk sales have to do with chips? Pharmacist. Have had more than one person try to convince me that their liver was special and that they developed a tolerance to enormous doses of Tylenol. Pro tip, you do not develop a tolerance to acetaminophen, and no one gets to exceed 4,000 mg/day. Mostly, these patients have developed a tolerance to hydrocodone and are looking for ridiculous fills of Vicodin. Sir, Dr. A has given you the maximum dosage. I cannot fill the prescription from Dr. B. Frick you, my liver is special. Runner-up, pick anything said by Drive. Oz. Frick Drive. Oz. Theoretical physicist. We regularly get emails from armchair scientists who claim to have reconciled quantum field theory with general relativity or shown how everything Einstein ever did was wrong. Some of these contain hundreds of pages of neatly handwritten or typed mathematical equations. I am not sure what to think of these people. I think many of them are mentally unwell and hope they get the help they need. But a part of me wants to believe that there is a misunderstood genius out there whose groundbreaking research will be discovered in a pile of rubbish. That would be one heck of a story. So to the best of my ability, I try to give each email a fair chance until I spot an obvious bullshit. I almost never make it to the second paragraph. Edit. 1. Removed an irrelevant detail a few people found offensive. 2. Had no idea this comment was going to garner so much attention. Will try to reply to comments and messages starting with the ones where I think my replies will be most useful. 3. Thanks for the gold. I'm zookeeper. Please enlighten me as to why tigers make wonderful pets. I'm a water professional, been told numerous times there are no asbestos water pipes. I've been told that would be illegal and unethical. Asbestos concrete pipes are one of the most common types of water and sewer pipes. My mom was having intermittent trouble with her internet connection. I'm in IT and, as all people in IT know, you become the family tech person. I went to investigate. Mom had a network cable running from her computer to an extra modem under her desk. The modem was connected to a coax cable running from the wall. Her house already had a modem and a wireless router. I asked her why she had a second modem under her desk. She told me that she'd complained to the man who'd just installed her dishwasher that her internet wasn't working well. He'd offered to take a look and, finding an extra modem in the basement, fixed the problem for her. None of this really bothered me as much as how hard I had to argue with her that this wasn't helping. She was convinced that, because she trusted the guy, he had to be right. She finally relented when, face in my hands, I moaned, I do this for a freaking living. Quick edit, so I'm getting a few questions. First off, my stepdad had a home office that he actually worked out of, so I set up the modem and router in that office so that all of his devices could be hardwired. Since he was actually working on the internet, he took priority. Mom just casually surfed. But yes, connecting directly to your router is great if you can do it, especially 15 years ago, when wireless wasn't as reliable. Second, think of a modem as a doorway to the internet world. The router just splits off access to that door so that multiple devices can go through it. And each door, modem, has a key, called a MAC address, that your service provider needs so you can walk through that door. But the world doesn't start until the line from your house hits the pole. So, knowing this, a second door won't get you to the world any faster, and it certainly won't work without giving your ISP its key, MAC address. Even if you could get it to work, which I don't think you could, It would be like putting a second front door on your house. So basically the modem under Mom's desk was just a powered on brick that was talking to nothing. I hope that explains things, but maybe someone out there can do a better job of it. And finally, the issue was a shitty, aftermarket wireless card in her PC that was a finicky beast. But it was so long ago, I can't remember if I replaced it or suggested she get a newer PC as hers was near end of life. I think I also moved the router a little. I did a lot of work for them over the years. It's hard to remember all the fixes. Oh, and my stepdad would slip me a $50 every now and again because he knew that, at the time, desktop support charged $80/hour. It was a nice gesture and filled my beer fridge. No you don't, you play with computers sobs heavily into beer. I'm a standard small shop barista and once a girl asked me to make her a hot chocolate with a shot of espresso, which is what a mocha is since we use the same chocolate powder for both types of drinks. I tell her, oh do you mean a mocha? If I charge you for a hot chocolate plus the extra shot it will be more expensive than if I just charge you a mocha ma'am. She proceeds to tell me she knows more about coffee and that the two are totally different due to the different way we prepare the chocolate. Instead of arguing with her I go ahead and make her the drink but had already written the M for mocha on her drink label. When I hand her the drink she proceeds to get hella angry and demand I remake her drink like she said, a hot chocolate with an extra shot. So I go back to the bar and basically just put her old drink into a new cup with the HC for hot chocolate. She takes a sip and goes, yep, much better. I'm a radio presenter. I once spent 15 minutes at a dinner listening to a woman tell me that I didn't work on a certain radio station that I had worked on for 6 years. It was quite honestly the maddest thing I'd ever heard. No, it's not that one, and if you don't really understand, don't worry. Me neither. Environmental scientist here, how much time you got? Ha ha ha, look at all the air pollution coming from that power plant. That's a nuclear plant, I know. All that smoke must be radioactive. Historian, the amount inaccurate shit I hear about Hitler could write a book in and of itself. A know-it-all told me, a professional musician / music instructor, that his favorite piece of music, of which he claimed expertise, was Bach's Fifth Symphony. When I politely commented that Bach never wrote any classical symphonies, and that perhaps he meant Beethoven, the guy simply said that he knew what he knew and that's all that mattered. Bach? Are you sure? Yes. Bachmaninoff, the one with the twiddly piano bits. And don't correct me. I'm a mechanic by trade. A guy I know bought an older European sports car to fix up. It doesn't run, so he got it cheap. I told him that it's definitely going to cost him way more than he thinks, and it's not going to be easy for him to do himself. Not to mention the difficulties of finding parts for it. He would probably save money if he just bought a new one. He just blew it off and gave me some strange twisted reasoning about how he can do it cheaper and make it better. Okay dude, whatever. So far he's sunk thousands of dollars into it, and it still doesn't run. I believe that he's pretty well invested into the sunk cost fallacy at this point. Bye-bye retirement fund. I used to run a pub, and there's a classic saying, everyone knows how to do two jobs. Their own, and running a pub. Writing professor, usually commentary on how technology has ruined millennials' ability to write. Edit, I don't mean handwriting, I mean the skill of writing. MD, mile per hour, epidemiologist. People who are against all vaccinations. A doctor here on Reddit once told a story about an anti-vax mom who brought her sick kid in. The doctor explained that the child had measles. The anti-vax mom rolled her eyes and said, "Hasn't medical science developed a cure for measles yet?" I'm a commercial property manager. In certain commercial leases, it's the tenant's responsibility to maintain plumbing, HVAC, etc. So you don't call your manager and demand your bulbs need to be replaced or toilets leaking like you would in residential. One of my properties had a main meter from the city, then sub-meters to the individual suites. Our meters were monitored and billed by a third party who would then let us know if a tenant's usage had spiked. We would let the tenant know that they probably needed to investigate since something on their side of the meter was possibly leaking. We notified the tenant. He freaks out and tells us nothing is leaking. He freaks out further when his bill is 4 times higher. I tell him again, maybe get a plumber to investigate. He says he doesn't need a plumber because he's a water engineer. Side note, his business was one of those mailbox stores in a shopping center. Turned out his toilet was running. Oh geez. I hope he catches it. I'm a teacher, so literally everything and anything to do with my job. I graduated high school, therefore I know everything you need to teach. I've had a baby, therefore I know everything about childhood development. I voted, therefore I know everything about government mandates about education. I'm a tattoo artist. Had a client try and tell me how I should go about tattooing color. She was completely wrong, and wouldn't believe me when I tried to explain how tattooing actually worked because her cousin told her how it is. Also had someone tell me once that they thought tattooing seemed pretty easy and that they could probably do pretty well at it because they decorated cakes at Hy-Vee. Working in VFX, you will now and again expose someone to a naturally photographed shot you haven't worked on yet only to hear that it looks fake. Similarly, a shot in which many things are indeed fake, some youths will inevitably pick out a real object and say it needs to be redone to fit in better. It just doesn't look like a natural part of the scene. Say what? It looks too synthetic. It's a physical prop, shot in camera. What did you do? I let light fall on it in front of a light sensor. I'm an airline pilot. Apparently I'm the only person that doesn't know how this stuff works. At least once a month, since I don't know how any of this works, someone will tell me how flying, airlines, weather, cancellations, maintenance, everything works. I usually have to hold my tongue, but when I don't, the usual response after I explain something is no, but this was different. Such things that I don't understand. The plane went vertical, the pilot gunned it. The pilot came on the intercom and said we're gonna crash. The flight attendant told us they don't know what's going on. This has never happened before. The plane was about to break up. You should stare at them like you're fascinated and ask them if they died. Love this question. I'm a vet. 1. People knowing how veterinarians don't really want to help the animals, but how we're making unnecessary stuff and treatment up for profit. Last summer I was attending my friend's wedding, and the gentleman sitting in the same table than us decided to let me know how he is aware of my profession's little secret. In reality I studied for years and still keep going on this industry, which is far from dancing on roses because I truly care about animals. I also will always let the owner know if I think that putting their loved one to sleep is the most humane way to go. After all these years, my patients are still what keeps me going and what brings me genuine joy. I care about and like your dog more than I like you or the overwhelming majority of my fellow human beings, and I would never put you through expensive and painful cancer treatment if I didn't think it was the right choice. Now imagine how I treat your dog. 2. What kills me the most is the amount of people convinced that you can give toxic products to your dogs/cats, especially alcohol, because reasons and Murphy fees. These people are everywhere. It's a shockingly common misconception. I've had the discussion about giving beer/wine to dogs countless times, i.e. with my Bill's girlfriend. Unfortunately we're the ones who have to deal with the consequences when idiots pull this crap. And it's truly heartbreaking. There especially seems to be a new trend of people getting their pets drunk because apparently it's funny, and then filming it to social media. This Christmas we had a record number of dogs accidentally drinking alcohol. Please, dear humans, don't give a single drop of alcohol to your dogs. It's toxic, harmful and potentially life-threatening. Even very small amounts can be fatal. There is no way you can explain that away. Your dog might be your best friend, but beer is one thing you can't share with him. If you want to enjoy a bonding experience, give your friend something appropriate to enjoy.